Welcome back to our conversation about the Boston mayoral race with publisher Bill Forry, managing editor Dumcius of the Dorchester Reporter newspaper. So we were talking before the break about the school committee's decision on the Boston Latin School. And we don't even have time in this segment to get into all the twists and turns this has taken. The legal battles over this are not over, but has this galvanized the race into white and Asian, or at least to some extent, white and Asian voters upset about the downplaying of the exam as the sole access to the three prized high schools? In sort of one camp, looking for a candidate who feels their pain versus Black, Latino, and other voters in another camp, or is that an oversimplification? Let's start with you here, Bill.
Yeah, I think that it may be a little bit too simple there, but you know, there are other issues at play too. Law enforcement, policing reform is an issue too that's really close to the surface, and I think will bubble up again here in this race. Those tend to break on racial lines too. So in public safety in general, the summer so far, Boston, we've been kind of pinching ourselves. We're doing a lot better than other cities in America right now in terms of violence on the streets. We're still having some bad incidents, and but as the summer goes along, public safety, I think, will become another issue to watch here. And the other one is housing, and how the next mayor will outline her strategy for dealing with affordable housing in the city. Andrea Campbell, who is a very interesting candidate, even though she hasn't been polling well, she's a substantive and interesting candidate, has been rolling out a lot of policy initiatives around that. So we'll see if that may start to get voters interested as well.
And I noticed Campbell took a whack at acting Mayor Janey the other day for having not rolled out a comprehensive plan yet, but instead rolling out a line of campaign swag. But again, on that issue of public safety, we just saw within the last couple of weeks a former New York City cop, Eric Adams, win the Democratic primary in New York City, campaigning on a platform of don't even talk to me about defunding the police. We've got to crack down on crime. Boston and New York are clearly two different situations. Bill just noted. Luckily, we've dodged the worst of this crime wave that's affecting other cities so far. But could our race here reflect what happened in New York in some way?
Well, New York had ranked choice voting, so it's a little bit apples to oranges on that front. But certainly in terms of the election of the primary win of a moderate speaks to a number of voters who might not always be vocal. They might not always be on Twitter, but they're following the race, and they're interested in voting, and they're voting for someone who's much more centrist, or whether it's center left or center right. And I think with this race, that's going to be interesting to see if the polls hold and it ends up being Janey and Wu in the final. That's two progressives facing off. But it's possible there is a lane for someone who's more conservative or moderate to face off against a more progressive candidate.
Well, that's certainly what Asai B. George is hoping. Look, we just have a few seconds left here, but quick comment from both of you. You were both young pups back in 1993 when Tom Menino parlayed the acting mayoralty into a win. But there's no doubt it's a huge advantage. You noted that, Bill. Is that advantage holding strong, do you believe, for her, or starting to wear off?
No, it's been holding pretty strong, actually. And, I'll note that Kim Janey got the budget passed by a 10-2 margin a week and a half ago. I mean, that could have certainly gone a different way. It was a signal that I think, people in the city were looking to Janey for not really radical change here, but steady leadership, kind of continuity from Walsh to her. That's what she's given so far, and I think that's why she's where she is in the polls.
Being acting mayor means you take more heat, though, right, Gin?
It does, and for the record, I was in third grade, I believe, in 1993.
Rub it in. Go ahead.
But and I would say also Menino, from what I understand, was only in office for about 10 weeks as acting mayor. She's been in there much longer, so we'll see if that helps or hurts. Dumcius,
Bill Forry from the Dorchester Reporter, a must-read during this campaign season. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll check in with you again down the road. And thanks to all of you for watching. Right now, it's back over to my colleagues for more WBZ News.